What is or would your decision-making process be if a majority of your constituents have a position that conflicts with your conscience?
Well, the hardest thing about that question is determining if it's a true majority, because in government, like so many other things, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, as they say. And so you hear from a lot of folks who may not be the majority at all, but they're the ones with the loudest voice. So the first thing you have to do is determine, is this a majority issue for the folks in my district? And once you make that determination, if they are strongly in favor of or against something that you may have a different position on, then I think as a representative of those people, you have to be willing to reconsider at least and maybe switch your position, at least for a vote, if it's an important vote. I've done that. It's not easy to do when you're convicted on an issue. But I have done it because I have determined on a couple of cases that the overwhelming majority of my constituents want me to do something else. When you can make that determination honestly and assuredly, then I think you have to do it. It does put you in conflict sometimes with your own conscience. But I'll do that, and I'm willing to do that right up into the point where my principles come into play, and I can't forsake some of my own principles for that.
This is a great question, because I'm sure it happens often for people who are in state government. But when we're dealing with conscience, I think for me at least, I would be turning to prayer, of course, and I would also turn to discussions with my husband and other people that I trust to share my deepest thoughts. But I also think when it comes to a very important issue that you need to talk with as many people as possible in your district who will be affected by the decisions that you're making. But I also know that people elect you because they trust your judgment and they trust you and your values. And I believe that people respect those who make decisions according to their conscience. So I think ultimately it's expected that a delegate would make decisions according to their conscience. And the beautiful thing about democracy is that if a delegate's decisions and voting record do not align with people's values, they can simply be voted out of office in 2 years. So, but I do think that I would absolutely vote my conscience in all decision making.
Well, as I explained earlier, my conscience is for giving power to the individual, self-governance, self-ownership. So I believe in giving that power back to the people. I believe in reducing as much coercion, as much as involuntary interaction and exchanges as possible. And so I believe that getting the government out of your life as much as possible does reduce that and allows for people to self-govern themselves and to give more power to them and to allow them to keep more of their money, and to, as long as they don't harm anybody else, then we're good.
The Woodrow Wilson Candidate Forum has been brought to you by the Peason Financial Group, because we know the best choices are made when you have reliable, accurate information. At Peason Financial, we work hard to ensure our clients make well-informed, smart financial decisions. Peason Financial, with offices in Stanton and Charlottesville, wants to remind you that Tuesday, November 7th is Election Day.